We do fun things, because I normally don't go outside. I'm an indoor guy, man. But my wife's exciting, and I want to stay exciting. So I try not to shoot down ideas. Like, she asked me once, she's like, do you want to go rock climbing? And I was like, what kind of rock climbing? See, that's a better answer than hell no, you know? What kind of rock climbing? And she goes, indoor rock climbing. I'm like, hell yeah, that sounds amazing. That sounds up my speed. Why would we go outside to do it for real? Why? I'm not trying to be in a documentary, you know? Let's just go inside and do it for fake. You know? So we went indoor rock climbing. I don't know if you guys have ever been indoor rock climbing. It's still pretty intimidating. All right, you walk in, it's a bunch of dudes that look like they love indoor rock climbing. Just a bunch of dudes. And then they got the thighs with the... Have you ever seen the dudes with the thighs with the peaks and the valleys? And they're proud of them. They wear little shorts and they just come out like, hey, did you see it from that angle? And you're like, yeah, I get it. Your thighs have abs for some reason. That's incredible. So it's already intimidating. And then I'm there, and then they put you in this harness. Now, if you've ever worn a rock climbing harness, what it does, if you're a fella, is it just bunches up your sensitive areas and just puts them on display for everyone to see. So I put this on, now I'm just walking around this rock climbing gym, just me and a bunch of dudes, just like, well, all right, that's what you brought to the party, all right? This is what I got going on. So it's pretty intimidating. And then we go over to the wall, and this wall is pretty high up. It's like 50 feet, and there's two ways to climb. You can do an automatic belay, and that's where a machine holds you, or you can do traditional, where a loved one holds you from behind and may or may not end your relationship. So we decided to go automatic belay. We're bringing in the machines for this one. And I remember the kid hooked me up, and the kid Clay with his flat-billed hat, like, he doesn't care. He just gets to climb for free if he hooks you into this thing. And he's like, oh yeah, as long as this is hooked in, you won't die. And I'm like, why would you say die? I'm pretty sure they train you not to say die. I would imagine, you know? That would be the most embarrassing death of all time. If I died doing that and that word got out, did you hear Zoltan died? Oh my God, what happened? He was rock climbing. Ooh, no. It was indoor. You guys would be like, oh, how? The floor is padded. How did he do that? That'd be like dying going indoor skydiving. You're like, how does that? I don't know. Someone must have hit the reverse switch on the fan. Turn that into a blender, you know? I always love the reaction to that joke because you guys are like, is that a button that they would have? I would assume not. So anyway, I'm locked into the automatic belay and I climbed. You know what I found out? I'm pretty badass at rock climbing. I got up to the top in like 5 seconds. Like a cat up to the top. The hard part's actually coming down because you don't climb down, you rappel down like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. You push off, you come back, you push off, you come back, and you just power hump your way down this rock. And I'm up there, and it's hard to let go. It's really hard to let go, because Emma's like, hurry up, and I'm like, shut up, don't rush me. And she's like, you're good, the automatic belay has you. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's supposed to work, but a lot of things are supposed to work. How many videos are there online where you're like, oh, look, that didn't work at all. Look at him go. So I'm not just gonna trust it. So I put a little weight in my ass, and I was like, all right, cool, I feel it, it's got me. And then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to push evenly with both feet. So you go back evenly, come down, come back to the rock evenly, push off, power hump your way down. But they didn't make that clear during the instructions, because when Clay with the flat-billed hat told me that, he was mentioning that information while he was putting on my genital harness, and that really needed to be two separate conversations, all right? You can't slip in need-to-know information when you're messing around down there, because I'm not listening to you, I'm just watching your thumbs. That's all I'm doing. So apparently while he was doing that, he's like, make sure you use 2 feet. Now I'm just hearing wah, 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 wah. I'm like, where's that phalange going, you know? So I'm up there. When I push off, I didn't push evenly. I pushed harder with 1 foot than the other. So instead of going back even, I went back sideways. And now I'm going down, but now I'm coming back to the rock sideways. So all those little nubs I climbed, I hit every one of them coming down like a human plinko. It felt like 50 people lined up to sock me in the ribs, and I'm just going down, da, da, da. And I look down, and there's my wife and Clay just laughing at me. And I'm just staring at my bouquet of genitalia going, I am an indoor cat. I shouldn't be out here. Meant to be in... I took a driving school class here, like when I was learning to drive. It was taught by a trucker who, I I love it. That was my favorite part, is when I got old enough to where teachers didn't have to be certified. You know what I mean? Like, all throughout your childhood, those teachers are rigorously like certified to make sure they know what they're doing. And then you get to high school and they just kind of quit. You know? Like, most of them are, but then you get some teachers who are like, let me tell you about the government. And you're like, what? And you're like, oh, this is an ROP program. All right. This is why he loves wood. He hates society. All right? Starting to put the pieces together. I had a woodshop teacher in high school that, like, you ever meet someone who none of their dreams come true? So now they're like stuck at a job and they never let anyone forget it? That was my woodshop teacher. I had a woodshop teacher in high school. His name was Mr. Brent. And he was pretty regular amongst other things. Like, he had all his fingers. Like, he wasn't one of those guys. You know, he was like, oh, he's missing a hand. No, he had all his stuff. But he was missing most of his heart. Like, he was missing like a part or section. He was a hateful man. I think he had goals and dreams, none of it worked out. Or maybe he just loved wood, but he realized he couldn't make a living with wood without teaching it to humans. And so he was just pissed all the time. And of course, woodshop's a stoner class. That's a class you take where you're like, I'm done, I finished that algebra, and now I need to fill my schedule, I'm working wood. That's what it is. That's what it is. Anyone take woodshop here? Clap it up. Cool. Nice. Do you work in wood today? Of course. Because no one did. Does anyone work in wood currently? Is anyone running a mantle clock shop as we speak? Just busting out mantle clocks. Anyone making Adirondack chairs to pay the rent? Anyone doing that? No, because it's not a real job. Maybe it was one day, but that shit's made in China. And Mr. Brand couldn't let go. So he's like, and I kind of thought about him, you know, I'm sure he's in high school making his mantle clock. He's like, this is what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. And then he graduated, and they're like, that doesn't, what? Like, you might as well have just said you wanted to be The Rock. Like, that's not going to happen. And he's like, well, you can teach these stoner kids that don't want to be in school. And he's like, damn it. And so that's where he was. He would just yell at us constantly. I remember one day he lost it on us, and he just went around the room, and he asked each of us what our dream was, and then he told us why we wouldn't make it. I know that sounds like I just made that up out of thin air. That was a real thing that happened my junior year of high school. And it was one of my favorite moments of school. Because it was this moment where he was just being brutally honest with us. And he went around the room. He started with this kid, Brock. I went to the school. This kid, Brock, he was like pretty much like the Spicoli of our high school. He loved to surf. He had cool long hair. And he loved surfing. And he's like, what are you going to do with your life, Brock? And Brock was like, I want to be a professional surfer. And he's like, oh yeah? Well, have you already won any national championships? Because Kelly Slater won 2 national championships before he was even 15. You haven't done that? That means you're never going to make it. And you should realize that now before it's too late. And Brock's just like, what the hell? Like, you can see tears welling up in his eyes. Everyone in class is like, what the hell's happening? I'm dying laughing. Because, like, I can't believe this is happening outside of a movie, you know? Then I went to the next person, what do you want to be? I want to be a writer, Mr. Brown. You can't even read. Are you kidding me? Like, he just destroyed every student going down. And I'm dying laughing. This is the most entertaining thing that's ever happened in my 4 years at San Marcos High School. And then it comes to me, because he sees me laughing. He goes, Zoltan, what the hell are you laughing about? And I go, this is beautiful. That's all I could get at. I'm like, this is beautiful. And he goes, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I'm like, I want to be a woodshop teacher like you, Mr. Brown. And there was a pause, and then he just kicked me out of class. And I had to go to the office and explain what happened. And I explained it, of course, my way. You know, what happened? He asked me what I wanted to do with my life. And then what'd you say? I said I want to be a woodshop teacher like he was, and he kicked me out of class. And the principal, who I think knew how I meant it, but couldn't admit it, because then we're both admitting that guy's a loser, just had to go, oh, we all have bad days.